Greetings, everyone. I hope you're having an amazing time here at Farragut State Park. They have a ton to offer, and I'm sure you're going to have an amazing experience. My name is Malachi Witherwax, and I want to do my part to give something back to this amazing community. The next time you take a walk around the park, pay attention to the world around you. All over the park you can see these small wooden boxes, and they each have a story to tell. These boxes are the home of the Bluebirds, and they are vital to the forest around them. I wanted to be an Eagle Scout because to me it symbolizes that you're a strong leader and you care about your community and that you're willing to do something to actually give back. And I've loved Farragut State Park for a very long time. In fact, one of my very first Cub Scout hikes was right here at Squirrel Cache Trail, so for me it was almost a natural decision to come here and to do something to preserve their history and their wildlife. So when Ranger Aaron Bear suggested that I do something to help the Bluebirds, I was all for it. We came to the decision that we were going to build 12 Bluebird houses and then expand and protect their habitat for generations to come. And then we were going to put together a documentary that would explain why that mattered and why that was really important to the Farragut habitat. And I've learned so much with this project, and I've learned about the Bluebirds and about the ecosystem, and it's been an amazing experience for me. And I'd like to just give a huge thank you right now to Lowe's Home Improvement Center. Their donations were absolutely vital to this project, and without them this project would have been a million times harder. Between the months of June and August, I studied the birds and where they lived. The bluebird habitat stretches all across the park, and it really encompasses it entirely. It was particularly interesting to find out that there were birdhouses absolutely everywhere. I managed to find them in the fields, on power poles, and along roads and trails. Inside I could find anything from a newly built nest, to a collection of eggs, to hatchlings almost ready to take flight. The bluebird habitat that Farragut has created is really a great symbol of just how important the birds are here at Farragut and all across the Pacific Northwest. Joining me today are three of my fellow Boy Scouts, Gage Uribe, Jon Overland, and Theodore Winton. Each of them are going to tell you a little bit of the story that Farragut has to tell.
Cilia mexicana, or the western bluebird, is an omnivorous cavity-nesting bird that is native to North America. It typically nests 5 to 20 feet off the ground. Foods include grasshoppers, caterpillars, beetles, or ants. The berries that it consumes are typically mistletoe, juniper, or elderberry. The female builds its nest out of twigs, weeds, and grass.
Today, western bluebirds are threatened by squirrels, house sparrows, European starling, and other non-native birds. However, the most pressing threat is deforestation. People are cutting down dead trees which they need to nest in. Also, nests are not being built fast enough. Luckily, it appears to be slowly expanding its breeding ranges. Additionally, people are becoming more aware nowadays, and the bird's population has reached 6.7 million in the world.
They breed as far north as British Columbia, and all the way down to central Mexico. They only exist in North America, so it is vital for us to protect them. You can find them here in Farragut during the spring and summer, but they can stay year-round in Southern California. 100 years ago, bluebirds were only found in the mountains of San Diego County during the colder months. 1% of bluebirds live in Canada during their lives, 62% live in the US, and 57% live in Mexico.
Perfect. All right, what else we got?
What we're doing here today is we're basically going to be putting together a dozen of these cedar birdhouses for the Farragut habitat. And so we have all of the wood here, it's pre-cut and everything, and then afterwards we're going to be putting together a documentary to talk about the Bluebirds and about the project. And so in the end of it, they're going to come out to look kind of like this. except in cedar. And now it's time we're gonna start assembling them, which is amazing. We're almost there.
Wooden boards assembled.
Yes. Yes. So we're going to basically, we have to line these up a quarter of an inch above the board here, and then we're gonna put everyone off into groups of 2. So can I get, all right, can I get a screw over here and a volunteer from the audience? All right. So can we bring these over? All right, and you wanna hold this one?
Volunteer for the
All right, thank you. So we're going to, so what I want you to do is you're gonna hold this up, and we're gonna get this off. And can everybody be watching this just so that they know what they're gonna be doing? All right, quarter of an inch. So now, all right, we're gonna take this, we're gonna put it in, and we're going to have to do it very gently. And you're gonna just kind of ease it in there. So I'm gonna pair you off real fast. So I'm gonna need someone under 14 helping Josh. Gage, how old are you?
13.
13. Okay. All right, we're gonna. I'm going to some. So Gage, I'll take you. Then let's see. Then we need someone working with Chris and someone working with Ben.
Nice.
Cool beans. One down. Ow. Try not to do that. Let's take a look at her. Yeah.
And we'll get it.
Like it?
Domino's lunch, why not? Please.
Eat that.
Camera.
Say hi to the camera. The camera has friends. I'm incredibly excited to have finally crossed the greatest hurdle between my becoming a Boy Scout and actually reaching the rank of Eagle. I've now completed my project and am ready to move on to the final test, the Eagle Scout Board Review, an intense interview designed to really test whether or not I'm ready to move on to the next level. And I can't even begin to express how excited I am to finally be right here. I've only dreamed of this. And I'd like to give a massive thank you to the Boy Scouts of Troop 911 for helping me with this project, and I'd like to give a personal thank you to Mr. Drexel, who's been my leader since the first grade, and to Mr. Givens, who helped me every step of the way with this project. And thank you to Aaron Bear for helping me to really make this project a reality, and I'm eternally grateful to my grandparents and to my mom and dad for being there, and without them, I wouldn't be standing here giving this speech. And especially you, Mom. You believed in me when I probably didn't deserve it, and you kept me on track throughout this entire experience.